which were emailed to you. Any comments, suggestions for change? I did notice that in the first bullet under updates, you may want to change the word tree to 3.
She's saying that in her Italian accent.
Yes, the 3 cameras. So yeah, it says that we have repair of the tree cameras, but I think it's supposed to be 3 cameras.
Yep.
So you may want to fix that. Outside of that, are there any suggestions for change?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor of approving minutes of the August meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so then we can move on to the claims, which were also emailed to you.
Is anyone else appalled by how much money we spend in water and electricity and the internet?
And sewer, the whole 9 yards.
All of them and it's all charged separately?
But it's all going up 20% here in the next, your home bill, all
I
your
just
bills.
can't believe that, like, city government, like for our city-owned parks, that we're paying, that it's expected that we just pay retail. And if that's the case, do we need to have all of this at every park? I mean, I was looking at this last night, and I mean, it made me nauseous at the amount of money that we spend in utilities.
So the restrooms obviously are going to need to take water and sewer.
Yep.
And the internet, we kind of set back on that for a minute, but with the cameras needed, you
Oh,
have to
the
have
cameras,
internet.
of course.
So there's really nothing you can.
And it's the lowest amount of internet
Yeah.
you can get to run the cameras.
I mean, it's just
It's crazy. Isn't it?
crazy.
That was my biggest shock when I first come here as admin. I was like,
Yeah.
what? It takes this much to run the park?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's shocking.
Very.
I have a question about I know we'll probably talk about this later, but the email vote for the NI Tech, but there's still a $767 fee that we paid to Dolman on August 12th, which was, I think, after that vote, and I wondered what that was.
That was actually prior. They came and fixed what they could fix at Geyser and Freeman, and then gave us a quote to repair the others, and that's when we decided not to go. We're not repairing the ones that are there because it's really in a spot that
Not very useful.
it's not useful. We don't have any activity there. Even going back through and looking through the hard drive on it, the activity there was like a 0.07% usage. So, I mean, it was very, and most of that I think was like kids riding bikes through there, people just walking, randomly, not on the sidewalks, things like that. So I think where we're standing at now with what we have, I think we're good as far as cameras.
I'd love to know if this NI Tech, is that normal that we charge $700 for a service call when they're servicing their own equipment? Does NI Tech, will they do the same thing? Like, is that normal?
No, NITEC, what we got at West Side, if something goes wrong with that, within the 3 years, they'll come and replace it free of charge. No service call.
That
no
service
nothing.
call, yeah. Is that what you're talking about, Monica? The 760
Yeah,
something?
it says service call.
Uh-huh.
Do we have
That's a repair also, though, not just the service call, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, that was to repair the hard drives and, I can't remember how many cameras it
Okay.
was.
do we have a First Financial Bank in Seymour?
Yes.
Where's that at?
Where the Burger Chef used to be.
Across
Exactly.
across from
You're not old enough to say that.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Evidently.
I knew he would
Across the street
know.
from Kentucky Fried Chicken, basically.
It's right on the corner across from Jackson County Bank. You got Pointers, Jackson County Bank,
And then don't forget Old
First
National.
Financial, and
Gotta have them all
Old
three together,
National,
make life convenient.
KFC.
Well, what was the one that was there? It's still there.
Main
No, that's
Source.
Main Source.
Main
First
Source.
Financial bought
Main
Main
Source.
Source.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't think they're no longer there.
Old National.
They
I just didn't.
Any other questions or motions on the claims?
I'll make a motion that we accept the August claims as presented.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the August 2024 claims, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. So then we can move on to the 2211 and the 25039 balances.
Are all the tournaments finished, Chad?
No, we actually started back this past weekend. So
Did you
we'll go all
really?
the way until at least Oktoberfest weekend. And then we've got a couple scheduled towards Halloween also. So the end of October will be the last tournaments.
Wow. They can't get enough of it, can
They
they?
can't.
Okay.
So this, out of this almost 17,000 there, just to give you a heads up, 10,445 of that was for our 3-year lighting contract with BC Electric. So that was almost 10.5 of that. And then the other 5,100 of that was to pay for the Seymour Swing golf scramble. So that's where that's the two big expenses out of that. As far as the income on that, Seymour Swing took in an additional $47.90. We had $710 in programs and $3,680 in donations. So that's the income for your 2211.
Donations from what?
They were random.
Just
Are they, a sunscreen machine, and a couple other things, so.
Did
So
you
we're-
say a sunscreen machine?
sunscreen station.
Oh,
We
sunscreen,
would like
okay.
that at West Side.
We're
so
gonna try to have a sunscreen station put in at West Side Splash Pad by next time it opens.
Okay.
Any other questions about or comments about the balances?
I'll make a motion that we accept the 2211 and 2503-9 as presented.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the 2211 and 25039 balances, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, we can move on to updates.
All right, West Side cameras, we did get those installed. You can see on your email, we attached some pictures. These are actually pictures that I took with my cell phone on the actual computer screen in the shop, so they are just a little bit blurry, but these pictures do not do it justice.
Amazing.
I can zoom in and get license plate numbers of people going down the alley, so
Nice.
I think it's gonna be very nice. Great choice. The crew that came in, you couldn't ask for a better crew, from dealing with Paul to begin with to the installers, just a great team to work with.
Is that Nitec?
Nitec.
Am I saying it right?
Nitec.
Not N-I, okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Good job.
Freeman Field lighting project, we discussed the expenditure that we had. Right now, we do have all the poles are set on fields 4 and 5, and also on the soccer fields. Discussed with BC Electric this morning. We are waiting until fall soccer is over because everything will be ran underground. There will be no power lines up above, so instead of having trenches ran for all the kids to have to run over to go through the soccer fields, we are gonna wait until after the fall soccer season to install the lights there.
Love it.
And they will, instead of renting the lift twice, that's when we'll also do field 4, because the lift expense is pricey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a quick update on the Freeman Field lighting project.
Nice.
Pickleball court lights. I was able to get a donation from the Jackson Township Trustee Department. They donated almost $3,000 in order for us to get lights put on the pickleball courts.
Nice.
All Phase Electric in return has also donated the material needed. So that has kept our expense down, and BC Electric is planning to start hopefully sometime this week, as long as all the material comes in. So basically, as soon as the material comes in, that was our target date, was sometime this week. But if it doesn't come in this week, if it comes in next week, it will be next week. But they have it on their top of the priority list to get that complete.
While you're on pickleball still, do we have any other closer dates on when we can?
I've notified outdoor court specialists, we're still on their list, but they cannot give me an exact date. They're hoping to get it sometime this year yet, is what they told me.
Is there any bit of like painter's tape or something that can be used so that they can at least be used like through the fall, like so that
What are they poured?
Yeah, they're poured.
They're poured, they're just not painted or
Let's
anything.
take those puppies.
And someone went over and put tape down on on the asphalt.
Wasn't I?
It was you.
It wasn't
You
I.
were waiting
I
for
kinda
that.
chuckled
Someone did. That
because-
was so nice.
Because a true pickleball court, you actually want it running to where the sun's not in your eyes, and this one's actually set up the opposite, because that was the first thing I noticed when they did it. I was like, well, you did it, but you put it right in the middle when it's going the wrong way. We do have, we've got a tournament coming up. Emily, do you know the date?
Couple weeks, the 21st, I believe.
It's not our tournament, but we have notified them, let them know that we do have 2 sets of portable pickleball nets. So if they would need to use those, they can, and we could put tape down if need be. I just don't want to put the temporary nets out there because they are expensive, and I don't want to leave them out.
Sure.
So if a group comes in and has a tournament, I don't mind loaning them to them, but I want to be able to take them down once the event's done so they don't get taken away. Any questions on updates?
I asked Brownstown who did theirs, and I just looked at the same company.
It is, same company, yeah. So I actually helped Brownstown a lot with setting them up, and I got invited to their ribbon cutting tomorrow from 11 to 1. It's in Brownstown, so I won't go down for the whole thing, but I'm going to run down there around 11, and
That's awesome.
So how many courts does Brownstown have?
they have 4.
4.
So ours is going to be set up kind of like a quad. Theirs is in a row.
We'll have.
Where's that at? Over
There's
by
a
the park?
4.
It's on
Brownstown?
Bowles Street,
We'll have 4, yeah.
so that would be,
Spring Street?
I think it's right off of, is it Spring Street?
I think it's
Right
Spring
off of
Street.
Spring Street that goes over towards the park. I think it's more down towards the west end of the park.
Okay.
Any other questions on updates? Tracy, you got programs?
I do. We had Power of the Praise Bands on September 5th at Crossroads. We had Less Like Me for the performance, and Traveling Tom's coffee truck had set up, and it was nice. We had probably over 75 community members attend, so it's a nice little evening. On September 7th, we had Denim and Diamonds. Crash Entertainment DJ'd for us. We had 17 children and then 17 parents, so 34 altogether. It was a good time. Pizza was provided, and we got that from Brooklyn Pizza. So, then on September 13th, this Friday, we have our 3rd annual Hispanic Heritage Days. It will be at Shields Park from 5 to 8. We will have several food trucks, bouncy house, traditional dancing, games, music, and entertainment provided by Big Top Productions. Then Adult Kickball League. It was supposed to start this Tuesday, but we extended the registration period. So now we will be doing, we have all the teams in, we think, as of today. So we'll start doing scheduling this week.
How many teams do we have now?
4 as
Oh,
of
thank
right
goodness.
now. Possibly 1 more rolling in, but definitely 4.
Should we cut the registration fee? Should we try to entice more or no? I mean, how do we get more people? 4 teams.
I know. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Again, like I was telling Kendra,
Bethany,
we put
the
it on
kids that are
Facebook.
coming out now didn't play kickball.
No, I'm targeting the old folks, such
Yeah,
as,
okay,
myself. I mean,
okay.
I'm doing a team as usual, but it'd sure be cool if we had some more people
More.
out there. Once upon a time, it almost feels like we had 8.
8? Yeah.
Right?
I heard that we had 8 at one
Yeah.
time.
I mean, at least 6 would be cool. I know a
Yeah.
couple, maybe it was better maybe that they sat down, but there's a few others that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy and I got challenged today.
Yeah.
Did you accept?
We would love to accept. Yeah.
Okay.
It will take us next season. I mean, we're always up for a challenge.
Starting now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. So you are going to
So
play.
we're
Oh,
No.
cannot-
We
we're
got
not
challenged.
playing
No, we got challenged
for more teams.
to beat the 8 or 9 teams. That's the max.
I
So.
want to challenge the Parks Department.
To play.
I want you to
Well,
participate.
I'm still injured from 4 years ago.
I want
What
you
he
to
tells me. I tried to
participate.
build a softball team too, and he was like, "I can't play. I'm injured from 4 years ago." I'm like, "I don't."
You can be the
count."
pitcher. Don't come to me about whining about your knee.
Yeah.
You don't even have to move.
Right.
It's when
How many
it's
people
when
are
I
on
kicked
a
the ball and my right
kickball
leg
team?
locked up.
I think
and
you have to
couldn't
have at
move it
least
for 3
9,
weeks.
like baseball and
Oh, I
softball.
think I do remember that. Actually, I do.
I split my thigh muscle.
So I'm hearing you turning down that challenge.
Yeah,
Fine,
I
Jen.
can't.
But that might be something we look at in the future, early registration, you pay this amount. If you wait,
Mhm.
starting here, it's gonna be, that might entice some people to,
Jump
I
I
get
mean,
aboard.
we're not really making anything off, we're covering the shirts and
Right.
the
Yeah.
umpires and,
I'll always come in paying the most, cause
Yeah.
right.
after the deadline is, appreciate you.
You actually told me I just didn't have your team built. Your captain took a little while.
Yeah, well, I said I'll do it, but I'm not doing it.
And then the last item on mine would be men's and co-ed fall softball league. Again, we were supposed to start our first game on 9/11, but we extended the registration period. I've had one team signed up for a while, and then I had 2 teams discussing, and they're still discussing as of today. So we might not have a fall league.
Did we talk last year about how we lure the people that went to Columbus? How do we lure them home?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
They're going all over creation.
Like I was-
just stay here. Let us make you want to stay here.
And then, we're half the registration fee.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. I don't know what to do anything different.
I'd even sponsor a team.
I have brand new lights. It's a nice little field.
I think it's the interest.
I got a
feel
new
like
parking lot over there. I mean,
I know. Like, where'd the whole community go?
I
Sad.
can't figure it out.
Yeah.
It would be nice, and then I could make different divisions like A, B, and C, because that's what
Mhm.
I'm running into. You're gonna get like a C team trying
Uh-huh.
to play an A team, and then
Yes.
the C team doesn't want to play anymore, which I understand.
Sure.
But
She got some industrial teams this year, what we used to have our industrial league back in the day. But then you have 1 or 2 really good teams that
I know.
they're like, well,
Mhm.
we really don't want to play if
Which
this
makes sense.
particular team's
yeah,
playing.
like I understand, but
Sure.
you know. So that would be it for mine.
We used to have a pretty good, church league, didn't we?
Yes, church and industrial. I mean, I remember as a kid it being packed at Freeman and at Geyser, and I would love to see that again, but
I wonder if some of the churches would be interested in maybe starting a league again.
I don't know.
Well, not this year, but I'm saying
Right.
in the future.
I know in the past, we've taken flyers and stuff to churches and to,
Have you?
R.R. Donnelly, Valio, Cummins, Ison.
Nipon.
We're still trying. We
Yeah.
won't give up on it.
I
Yeah.
know.
I mean, we try.
So any questions on programs or league updates?
What did you say our biggest fundraiser is for the year? Is that the golf scramble? I was thinking the other day, we should have a Seymour prom.
Thought about this for maybe even seniors too, like actual seniors.
Oh, yeah.
So we do the senior prom.
And like, why no, but easing up on the senior population is kind of what
Like
I'm
the
thinking
mid-
too. Like the cap prom,
Yeah.
just a thought, if
A
we
little
ever would
ball
do
or
like a,
something.
Doesn't that sound fun, princess?
Always. Put my heels on and
Yes.
my makeup and I'm ready
I
to
know,
go.
yeah, I'll get you a tie-dye ball gun. I think it'd be a great idea.
I hate to point this out, but you said the golf scramble is the biggest fundraiser, but when we were talking about the balances, I thought it sounded like we lost money.
That was just,
That was just 1 month.
that's just 1 month of bringing in.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was well over $20,000.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just in sponsorships alone, I had 23.5, and our total expenditure was around 5,500.
Thank you.
I noticed that during
Yeah, so
earlier,
to
and I was
give
like,
you-
I didn't want to point it
Okay.
out.
To give you over, that was our 4th
Banners.
year to have it, and
Banners
we're
brings
well
in quite a
over
bit.
Back,
We have,
$82,000.
10 to 12.
So like the
Okay.
playground
Yeah,
at Shields,
about the same.
that was right at 25,000. So that was totally paid for through the golf scramble and some of the stuff at Geyser Park as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Reservation request, we have none, correct, Emily?
Correct.
Still to date? Miscellaneous business, anyone?
I wondered, has anybody noticed the kidnapper looking van at Casting? It's like a 1982 Shasta that's been there for
Like the
a hot
mystery
minute.
machine?
No, it's like,
Was tagged
it
today.
reminds me of the one from Prisoners, if you ever
Like
saw
a
that
camper.
movie,
With
really
Meredith.
scary, like,
At
Camper
Casting
looking.
Park?
at
Yeah, is it a
casting.
camper?
It got tagged today.
Oh, it did, okay.
Oh, look at them go.
Okay.
Carrie's like, I know that man.
It's taken care of.
Okay.
Carrie's got it.
I just,
There's also one at Freeman that got tagged today as well.
okay. And then also, like, can we get some kind of like trail cleanup? Like, if it's like a chain gang of like a volunteer people, like for whatever reason, people driving from the east side of the bypass to the other side of it are throwing Yoo-hoo bottles out.
Just you?
Just you, and they're metal or they're glass. So there's glass all over the trail.
That's so odd.
Like, so.
You know it's the same person. You want to do a stakeout?
Like, I don't know if, like, if we could just like,
Nick
hey,
Cage.
if you're looking for,
Put a
you
camera on
know,
the bypass.
once a month, the first Saturday of the month, you know, meet 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock and let's clean up, you know, type of thing if we
clean up.
have to.
We do go out once a week. Usually it's on a Monday or Tuesday. And send a guy out there and he does.
Our paid employees are doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Can't we find people that don't get paid to do that?
Well, I
Like
would-
community service hours or work release folk? Or...
In answer to your question and your suggestion, I used to be on a committee of the, or whatever it was called, as part of the Chamber of Commerce. And it was an environmental committee, so we adopted a piece of road on Highway 11 south of town. And we did that for a few years, and then our chair told us to stop because it was too dangerous, like with picking up needles or glass or whatever. So we were an environmental committee, and we were asked to stop. So I don't know if his staff is probably insured or whatever, but volunteers you may not be able to do that. I don't know.
I feel like we can like insurance us to death, like some leather gloves or pinchers. I mean, I've done Von Peng Ditch a million times with pinchers, right? Like, is there substances in there that you are going to open and get it on you? Of course, right? You don't know if it's pop or urine, but just put it in the trash can and go. Like, at least I will.
I'll pick up trash. You want to make a club called the Litterbugs? I just had it in my head.
Okay.
Every other Monday, would you say? You want to talk about the details later? We're going to be Litterbugs. That's crazy. We're paying someone to do that. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why
To help. We just want to
I
help.
only noticed it like yesterday. I noticed there was another one. I got out, you know, off my bike and put it all to the side. And then I saw your mom doing the same thing in a different area, right? So like I know that other people notice it too, and nobody wants to be out there, you know, 5 miles from home and get a flat tire. So.
Well, if you do see stuff like that, be sure and send it to me. Send it
Or
text message
faster
or,
just to stop
or
and do it
even,
ourselves,
yeah,
Litterbug.
or call me, cause we'll get Carrie and the guys, they'll
We usually try to, somebody go out Monday or Tuesday after the weekend and clean up, although it can happen any night, but we usually try to clean up after the weekend.
I'm going to make a mission to catch the Yoo-hoo thrower.
see Bethany out there with
Excuse me.
binoculars.
Excuse me. Did you know you cannot do?
You know, it is a routine. If it's that
It,
many.
clearly, it's a routine.
I want to get a Yoo-hoo and then throw it out the window about that time.
Tisk.
Any other miscellaneous?
Are all the other cameras up and running from the previous company? Shields is good. Geyser's good. All the other ones are good.
Casting and Kessler.
Casting and Kessler are
But
good.
those were not from Dahlman. Those original cameras came from Deputy Electronics.
Okay. Yes.
And they were before you and I, Carrie, weren't they?
Well, right there, about the time we.
I think-
Burnt
So
school,
casting's
yeah.
probably 6 years old.
Yeah,
I mean,
6, 7 years old, I'd say.
they shouldn't have never been put up to begin with.
Did we have a plan in motion to update all of them?
Well,
Or am I
now that
have we
I'm
left
seeing
it?
this from NITEC,
Yes.
I want to make sure this is something that we really like before I
And then
introduce
explore
anything
options
else
with them. Fair enough.
for those, yeah.
Great.
And when do we shut off the splash pad?
It will run until the last Friday of September.
Yeah. Is there signage that says that, like what times of year it's available, or no?
Not yet.
Okay. I was gonna say, people are gonna come in the winter and then they're gonna stamp on it even more because it won't turn on.
They won't be able to, cause that's removed and a
Yeah.
plate's put on it.
Oh,
Take that
nice,
off.
Yeah.
nice.
So
Put a
even,
Christmas tree there or something, Chad.
even all of the, spray features are removed from the concrete and they're plugged off.
Oh, nice.
So they can't stick anything down in it or nothing.
Good.
Is there any truth to, like, West Side is encampment of, like, the commenters, like, on Facebook always talk about, like, there's just, like, homeless camps everywhere. Any truth?
Well, now we have cameras.
I go to West,
Have you seen homeless camps all over West Side?
right.
Well, I haven't been there after morning.
So I go
don't
every
know.
night.
I've driven my bike through there 2 or 3 times when I'm going to the trail and back, and I've never seen anyone.
Right.
We've
I've
had
seen the chatter,
a couple issues that I've had PD over there, and, I
It
mean,
was like in 1 week,
that
don't
was
you
in
think?
1 week, and
Okay.
And
ever
we haven't
since
seen
then,
anything since.
we've not had any problem. Like Tracy said, if she's not there every night, then I'll take her place, or Carrie will take our place, but she's there every night.
Every night.
Oh, you're doing check-ins?
Yes.
Oh, bless your
every
hearts.
night. I go and lock the bathrooms and clean the
Okay.
splash pad filters.
So it's your baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucky you.
All
I
right.
know.
Thanks, Mom.
I did kind of,
Got to baby-proof all these parks, I mean,
Lives right up the
Appreciate
road,
it.
and it's
Yeah.
easy for her
Wonderful.
to get there, and
yeah,
thanks for doing that.
no problem.
But hopefully now we can say, there are cameras,
Yeah.
like there are no,
Yeah. We did have one solid week there, but after
Yeah.
that, I didn't see anybody else at night or in the morning
I mean,
on the weekend.
I've seen the same chatter, but I've never noticed a problem with my eyes.
Where are all the homeless camps at? They still out east of town?
I couldn't tell you personally, Art. I know I've heard chatter through DPW where they're aware of them and they check on them, and so does PD. I do know that, but I couldn't tell you if,
Well, I talked to Jeremy Ritchie, and I said, Jeremy, just how many students do we have that are considered homeless? He said over 200.
they've been saying 200 for 5 years.
Yeah.
I bet there's 3 times that. Because they say homeless as
Yeah.
unhoused, meaning that you're couch surfing, you're staying the night, you're in a motel, you're in a hotel, any of those, living in a car, in a
Or
camper.
if you're not living with a guardian, even if you're living in a safe home, but it's not your mother or your father or a guardian, then you're also considered homeless at that point too. So I would say over 200.
Elevated number.
But
We do feed those kids, well, 3 times, breakfast and lunch. And then some of them are given a bag of food to go home on the weekends. The school does.
Mhm.
So it's a good program.
For
And
sure.
in the summer, we have free
lunch,
food to
breakfast too, I think.
them also. I think those are good programs.
I like it. Anybody else?
Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Look, we're like record breaking.
Second.
thank you. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we will see you all October 21st.